Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Saturday morning, January 11th, 111. In fact, when the clock turns 111 today, I'm going to take a picture 111 on 111. What the hell? Good thing it's not 11 degrees in the past, or else the whole clock would be 111 and I'd be freezing. Okay. So enough of that. We got to talk football today. Eagles football. I'm going to give you my prediction of what to look for. Let's start with the whole NFL, okay? Let's start with the games. The playoffs start today. Playoffs starting today. What a great time of the year, huh? The tournament begins. And we have Houston Texans hosting the Chargers. San Diego slash Los Angeles Chargers. I still think of San Diego Chargers. But anyway, this is interesting because how are the Chargers going to win? Oh, those fires out in LA, is that going to weigh on your mind? Is that going to be a distraction? Are these players going to be thinking, what's going on that code with their codes and families? I don't know. We're going to find out. I would think it's not a good thing. In one way, you would think maybe it's a little motivational thing. But if you have to be motivated for NFL playoffs, something's wrong. You should be motivated anyway, right? So I look at it this way. Always break it down to quarterbacks. Quarterback is the most important position, not only in football, but maybe in sports. Justin Herbert has it over CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has definitely regressed this year. It's not what he was. And when Tank Dell, his wide receiver, went down for the year, that hurt him a lot. Now, of course, the Texans still have Nico Collins, who was great. Joe Mixon, who should really be able to run on the Chargers. They're not that good at stopping him. So Joe Mixon should have a good game. It's really going to come down to the Texans, have they got it together? They are at home. They're underdogs at home by 2.5 points. Chargers are good, but I don't know if they're that good to be favored by 2.5 points on the road, right? I don't know if they're that good. Justin Herbert is good. Ladd McConkey, who, the Eagles were looking at Ladd McConkey. And they ended up not drafting him in the second round, but they were looking at him. He's a big-time receiver. I think he's going to be a good receiver in the NFL for years to come. But anyway, so the Chargers have McConkey. They have J.K. I was going to say J.K. Rawlins. Like, they have Harry Potter in the third. But the Raiders can score, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I really do. I think it's going to be a tough game, close game, and because we don't know what the Chargers' mindset is like because of the fires, and because I don't think the Chargers are good enough to lay points on the road. If I was a betting man, I would take the Texans today because they are home. You would hope that they have gotten it together and they could run Joe Mixon. They can play action with Nico Collins, right? Even though I love Justin Herbert and he's very explosive, Chargers get behind on Justin Herbert. Just like that can take him down the field and score. But if I had to pick a side, I would pick the Texans. I would take the Texans in the points. Second game. Big game tonight on Prime Video. Steelers, old-time NFC North battle. These teams know each other very well. I mean, they played twice this year. Played 2 times at least every single. and they hate each other. It's rivalry between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And Baltimore's a 9.5 point favorite at home facing Pittsburgh. Now the reason that is because Pittsburgh sucks. They've lost 4 in a row going into the playoffs. And you know my philosophy of going even before. I like to take hot teams to the playoffs because there's no such thing as an on and off switch. Just because you go into the playoffs, does that mean that automatically start playing you up? Doesn't work that way. So that's the reason why Baltimore is favored by so many points. You would think, well, you know what? The division rivals, they're hated rivals. Mike Tomlin, the Steelers coach, as an underdog, has a good record. You would think it would be a closer game, a low scoring game, too. And I think it's going to go that way. I really do. Even though the Steelers have come into the playoffs really down, I just think they're going to play. Russell Wilson, obviously, is nowhere near Lamar Jackson, who may be the MVP again this year. But you got to think it this way. Lamar Jackson hasn't performed in the playoffs. Is that going to crop up again? Or is he finally going to get over that and start playing well in the playoffs? This is his shot again. So you got to wonder. I think these teams know each other too well. I think Tomlin is a good coach. Harbaugh is a good coach. I think the Steelers keep it close. I could see this score being 20-17 Ravens. I think the Ravens win the game. They have my weapons. You know, Andrews, the tight end. Zay Flowers is out there. That's a big loss for the Ravens. He is their prime target as far as a wide receiver is concerned. Now, you know, the Ravens have other weapons. They have Bateman, Andrews. They can run the ball with Derrick Henry. But I think they're going to miss Zay Flowers. Of course, Lamar Jackson can take off at any time. But you got to remember one thing. The Steelers were built to play the Ravens. That's who they are. Mike Tomlin built the Steelers to specifically play the Ravens because they play them twice every year and they battled them in the division. And there's a good chance, as we see this year, that they're going to play the third time in the playoffs. So the Steelers know how to play with Jackson. They know how to play the Ravens. I think the Steelers keep it close. Again, I say a 2017 type of game. So if I was a betting man, I would take the Steelers plus 9.5 cover. All right, so now you got the Sunday game. Now we get into the meat of the ropes there, right? You got the 1 o'clock game. Denver going up to Buffalo. 2 cold weather teams. Although from what I understand, tomorrow is supposed to be a really nice day up in Buffalo. Like 32, which is considered balmy in Buffalo for this time of year. And clear, no snow. So you got Denver going in. Denver has a young, hungry team. Rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. I think he's going to be a star in this league. A lot of teams passed up on Bo Nix in the draft last year. I think they're going to regret it. Denver has a good defense. Bo Nix can throw the ball. To Sutton, he's got some really good wide receivers, but you got to remember, Bo Nix is a rookie playing on the road, his first NFL playoff game. That's big. And it's a very hostile environment in Buffalo. Those fans are crazy, like our fans down here in Philly. Josh Allen's having an MVP type of season. This is the time of year, the playoffs, when Josh Allen starts to run. He takes all the limitations off. He's not afraid to run. He specifically saves himself for the playoffs. He may not run as much as he could in the regular season because he wants to stay healthy. He wants to save himself for the playoffs. Playoffs, Josh Allen is going to take off the reins and he is going to run. Denver will get after Josh Allen. They will blitz. They will. That's why I think Josh Allen will look at in the pocket. I mean, he's a weapon in the pocket. But as we know, he can run. So 9.5-point favorites again. That's a big line. But this is the line I think Buffalo covers. One, Bo Nix is a rookie on the road, first playoff game. Two, Buffalo's had a week to rest. They're ready to go. They rested their starters last week. They're ready to go. I think Buffalo covers the line and Buffalo wins maybe like 37-10, something like that. Now, big number. And we got our Eagles. Eagles at home against Packers. This line started off, if you saw it as soon as it came out last week, Eagles were favored by 3.5. It quickly jumped up to 4.5. And last time I looked, it's up to 5.5. Packers are bad enough. Packers, Jordan Love, the quarterback, hurt his elbow. And he's probably going to go tomorrow. But from what I read and understand, elbow is sore. Is he going to be able to throw the ball like he usually does? They could run the ball with Josh Jacobs. Good running back. They're going to miss Christian Watson, who is their wide receiver, the deep threat, fast guy. They're going to miss him. He's out for the year. Packers still have some good weapons. Don't get me wrong. Tucker Kraft, their tight end is good. And their defense is okay. So, but I just think they're going to run into a buzzsaw, a hornet's nest, so to speak, in the Eagles. I think the Eagles are ready. I think we remember what happened last year in the playoffs when they went down to Tampa Bay and played it. Which that was a totally different Eagles team. But I think the Eagles, they remember that, and they're going to win tomorrow, go to the next level. Jalen Hurts may be a little rusty at the start. And the Eagles, they're not very good in the first quarter. This has been the whole season, they're very good in the first quarter. For some reason, they start off slow. Well, we know it starts with the coin toss. If the Eagles win the coin toss, they're going to the second half, which means that the Packers would get the ball first. The Eagles have done this all season. So I just think that the Packers, believe it or not, I think the Eagles will. I think the Eagles cover the spread eventually. I think the Packers stay close to the first quarter. I would even take Packers to win the first quarter. Last time I looked, the Packers were a half of a point. They were getting a half point in the first quarter. That may not be a bad deep. Take the Packers first quarter. You figure that even if it's a tie, 3-3s, you got the Eagles really start to kick in the second quarter, and especially in the second half. That's when now he'll go wrong. Now the Eagles get the Baltimore, they're taking them down the path, get Packers' throats, and take them early. But history tells us Eagles get off to slow starts. Jalen Hurts maybe a little rusty to start the game. So I think eventually the Eagles pound the ball at St. Louis. I think it's another big game. AJ Brown is going to play, even though he's got an issue with his knee. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert's back. The Eagles have plenty of weapons, and they can move the ball and score this packing team. And the fans are going to pack up. They're going to be ready. I mean, they'll be up there all day tailgating. 4:30 comes, they're going to be tacked up. They're going to be ready to roll. So I think Eagles win 27-20. That's my pick. 27-20. Eagles win and cover. But again, I say, don't be surprised if Green Bay wins the first one. Don't panic and get on Twitter or whatever and say fire Siri up. No, Eagles will come back in the second quarter and the second. But don't be surprised if the Packers from a good start. So I just think the Saquon Barkley is going to have a big game. He's going to prove that what he did in the regular season, same as he's going to be in the playoffs. He's driven and he is motivated and he is going to will this Eagle team the victory to or to the from beyond. Okay, so then we have the night game tomorrow. Interesting matchup. We got Washington down at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at home, favored by 3 points. Well, look at it this way again. Washington, they have weapons, McLaurin, Brian Anderson runs the ball. Which Jaden Daniels is great. He's great. You have to hand it to him. When he's running the ball, he's throwing the ball. But again, he's a rookie. It's his first playoff game on the road. That's a big deal. You have to take that into consideration. You got Tampa Bay team that's playing okay. Baker Mayfield is playing great this year. You've got weapons in Mark Evans. You've got a running back in Bucky Irvin, who has been great. And the defense has been solid. Washington defense, not so much. Washington defense, you could throw against the Washington defense, as we saw with the Eagles play. So I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a big game. I think Mike Evans should have a good game too. And I like Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is at home. And I just think Tampa Bay, even though they do have some young players in the team, I just think I definitely think they have the coaching advantage too. I think Todd Bowles is an excellent defensive coach. I think he's going to be able to stymie Jaden Daniels too. He's going to draw something to contain and make sure he doesn't break out of the pocket and run crazy. They actually going to let Jaden Daniels throw the ball. And I think Todd Bowles is going to come up with some good blitzes, and he's going to put the pressure on the kid. Whereas on the other side of the coin, I definitely think Tampa Bay is the coaching edge. I do. Todd Bowles has experience. I just think he's going to get the job too. We'll see. Maybe our friend Zach Ertz will be involved for Washington. That I would be surprised if Zach Ertz has a big game too. He's playoff savvy, and knows what it takes. So I'm gonna look for the chance. Zach Ertz. As far as a prop in that game is concerned, other than Tampa Bay winning, I think it's going to be a high scoring game because both of these teams can go up and get the field. I like a 30-27 game. Let's say Tampa Bay. Now that's 3 points there. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay has a better chance to cover the spread. If they win by 3, it's a push. So I think Tampa Bay wins and moves on to the Super Bowl. And in the final game, Monday, we have the interesting game because we have the Rams quote unquote hosting the Minnesota Vikings. That number one. You got Minnesota coming off of a big game this week in Detroit, where all the marbles for the number one seed in the NFC for the NFC North Division crown. The Vikings also, especially on offense, they get down to the red zone and they just stopped. You know, Sam Darnold was just terrible. He was like Sam Darnold of old, like Sam Darnold of the New York Jets. You know, it just didn't look the same. I don't know whether it was the pressure in the big game or the Lions defense. I just don't know what it was. But he did seem like he was on the same page with Justin Jefferson and some receivers. The interesting thing is because of the wildfires, the LA Rams, unfortunately, not playing at home, but playing in Glendale, Arizona, the home of the Arizona Cardinals. So you might say, okay, well, that's not far away from LA. You know, Rams are still having fans there and should still have a kind of home field advantage. But I don't look at it that way because Viking fans tend to travel well, probably better than Ram fans do. I think about it. When Rams are coming across country to play Eagles, as they will be next year, you see a bunch of Ram jerseys in the crowd. Not really, but when the Vikings come in to play us, you do see a lot of Viking jerseys, a lot of people with the horns, you know. So it actually, the crowd actually maybe pro Minnesota crowd. You gotta wonder how much of a distraction the fire's going to be on the Rams and the players. Are you going to be thinking about what's going on back in? You have to wonder. The one advantage the Rams have over the Chargers in this situation is the Rams have 2 more days to prepare, 2 more days away from the event. And hopefully the fires will come out and soon will be in that. And it might make a little bit of difference with the Rams not coming to Monday night. So I don't know what the Cardinals get. Now, you would think the Vikings being what would be 14-3 would have the upper hand. But how is Sam Darnold going to come out? This is a playoff game, a big playoff game. Now, is he going to kind of joke like he did last week in Detroit? I don't know. As far as personnel is concerned, the Rams, I think, have the advantage because the Rams are experienced. They've been in the playoffs. They've won a Super Bowl just a couple of years ago. Matthew Stafford, you know he's going to be at the top of his game. You know they have Williams as he's a great running back. And the combination of Cooper Kupp and Puka at receiver, probably, if not the best combo in the league, one of the top combos. And don't forget, the Rams defense is pretty solid. It's a young defense, but they're solid. So I don't know. I just think it's going to be a very close game, very interesting game. The Rams are actually getting points. The Rams are getting. Last time I looked, it was 1.5 points. So I think the big thing is how Sam Darnold comes out for the Vikings, and also how the Rams respond to what's been going on in the flag. Will they be motivated? That's the one thing I thought. If the Rams were playing in LA, that crowd would be really jacked up, you know? I mean, after what's happened this week, that tragedy in their lives, but you couldn't have to that. I mean, you have to focus. LA people have to focus on the fires and the aftermath. And it's not fair to ask those people out there to go to a football game, but it may be distracting for a couple hours, but I think the NFL did the right thing in moving the game. But how are the Rams going to respond? Me personally, I think the Rams are. I think I would take the points if I was a betting man because the Rams certainly can win this game. So the points are like icing on the cake. That's like gravy. You get the points just in case, right? So why not take it? So there are my winners on the team: Texans, Steelers, uh, Bills, Eagles, Buccaneers, and Rams. They got one win the game. Right? I was just saying as far as covering spread. Your winners, uh, Ravens, Texans, Bills, Eagles, Buccaneers. I'm staying with them. And actually, you know what? I'm staying with them. I think I'm ready to win it. I really, I do. Listen to that. And either somebody's up to do it, or we're summoning daddy. Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you Monday. We'll have a weekend in review as always. We'll talk about the events of the weekend. We'll have a review of the Eagles, hopefully big victory over Green Bay, and a lot more to talk about. Hey, did you watch that Ohio State game? Well, Ohio State is just bad. I told you yesterday if you watched the show. I had my doubts about Texas. I don't like the quarterback. I don't like the coach. Texas they've got some really skilled players on the team. Fast and fast. I just don't like the coach. You got to get these players who make plays, you got to get them the ball. And even though Texas had a great record, that's why they were where they were yesterday, right? In the Orange Bowl. I don't know. I just think got to do a better job as far as getting your playmakers the ball. Now, what'll be interesting is Arch Manning. Arch Manning start for the Longhorns next year. That's going to be very interesting. We kind of had figured Ohio State was going to be. They're just great defensively, and they're really good offensively too. So a week from Monday, we have college championship game. We'll talk about that. But I don't know how Notre Dame's going to be state. I just don't. Ohio State to me looks like a pro team playing against kids. I mean, you do have Chip Kelly on the staff. He's the offensive coordinator, and you can tell they look like they're running a pro set. They just did. They look like a professional team. So we'll see. We got plenty to talk about that. But enjoy the games, everybody, today. Starting at 4:30. Enjoy the games tomorrow. Start at 1. Go all the way until about 11:30. No. So it's a big, big, big deal of football tomorrow. Everybody enjoy, peace and love. I'll see you on Monday. Take care and stay safe. Stay warm. Go Eagles tomorrow. Go Eagles. Step number 1. This is where I get grounded. Step number 1, race to the Super Bowl. I believe in you. I think you're going to win tomorrow. I think you're going to win the freaking NFC, not the Lions. Not the Lions. I think you're going to win the NFC. I think you're going to win the freaking Super Bowl. Because if you play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it's revenge. If you play the Ravens in the Super Bowl, I think you'll beat the Ravens just like you did down in Baltimore. Holy shit. The Buffalo Bills, I think, would be the intriguing matchup. Josh Allen against the Eagles. Two crazy, for lack of a better word, fan bases. The Bills Mafia going toe to toe with ours. The Eagles, oh my God. I would love to see that. Bills, Eagles in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't you? And the fact that the Bills have never even been there before, they deserve to go, right? So either way, I don't care who makes the Super Bowl over in freaking AFC. Could be the Texans for all I care. The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl this year. They have something to prove. They have the team, and they're going to get the job done this year. And today, for tomorrow, is step one in that process. That's how you got to look at it. So go Birds tomorrow. Win tomorrow. Take care, everybody. See you. Bye. See you Monday.